I got a whole mess of dough here. So this is again my sourdough. Um, I mixed in some, this time toasted sunflower seeds again. The toasted cashew, they're a little over toasted, and the sunflower seeds were a little over salty. So I decided to do something a little different, and I added a little sugar in, and I added a little molasses in, and I also added in some cinnamon and some nutmeg, a good little handful of nutmeg. And so I decided to take this from a salty kind of, the sesame seeds are toasted just right, but they're a little salty, and the cashews were overdone. So I had this like real strong salty kind of like roasted flavor, and I wanted to calm it down a little bit. And the way I did that was by putting in the spices that I just spoke about. And so I buy them raw, okay, and I toast them myself. I get this product. I get most of my food from Winco, just because those are so salty. Bulk is really great, and I'm not close to a grocery outlet like I used to be. A lot of things I like to get at a grocery outlet that if I'm going to buy it in can or buy it in like beans and stuff like that. Well, it depends. All depends. Bulk usually beats out everything, but there's certain things you get like over there for 50 cents or a dollar, and their cheeses are always cost less. And they got a real wide selection of salamis and stuff like that, and different bacons. So there are certain things I like over there. So while we're talking, I'm over here. I got this my big pot with water in it on the stove. It's summertime. I keep heating my house back up. I think Earth is running around outside, and she's so dark you can't find her. As soon as the sun goes down, it's like she's gone. You might see a little shadow come by you. I'm like, man. I mean, she's so pure black. But she's a good girl. She won't go far. I accidentally threw a bucket of water on her today. So I've been writing today, guys. I've been doing a lot of breaks, and a lot of walks, and a lot of getting up, but it's the beginning of the month, so I feel real well, and I want to get a lot of things done. I found on my run earlier that I was thinking about writing, and I was thinking about my book, but I wanted to do one more writing, kind of like like about the marathon. Talk about it, man, and like who I ran for, man. I mean, there's a whole list of people, I mean, and the downhearted, man, and the dead, and the lost, and the like, my friends, and my mom, and my dad, and friends from the Rock, and so many names, and I named so many, and I just kept going and going, because, man, every little spark of inspiration, man, just kept turning over and over on me, man. All my neighbors, we got a neighborhood here, dude. In Springfield, Oregon, we actually have a neighborhood, man, where the kids run around on the street all the time. And there's always somebody watching them. If it ain't me, if it ain't, all the moms are. But they'd be, right outside, right out back, up and down the street on their bicycles, in the parking lots, having a grand time, playing all the time. We play soccer sometimes. And, for all them kids, just say, you ran 25 miles? I only know one kid's name is Quentin because his parents introduced me. Oh, Ronan, because I know his mom. His mom introduced me. I know the other parents kind of like, they know me, which is fine enough that they know my name, and, some of them are Hispanic, but they all have gotten to know me pretty well. And they're like, it's just how he is. He just plays with kids, and kids are attracted to him, and he's here all the time. running in circles, punching his bag in the backyard, playing like the kids. Simple. Simple equation of causality. Thor is a big wound up child. If I wasn't handicapped, I'd be like, super child. I'd be playing all the game bestest in the world. Dude, that dude who jumped off the building the other day, we used to go to this quarry. It's called Dickerson Quarry back east. And like, dude, it was on private property. One day we went in there and people were running out real fast. We're like, they're shooting with rocks off. And we heard this boom, boom off in the distance. And we were like, man, let's get out of here. But the other times we go there, you know, hanging out. I was the youngest. And what it was an old quarry that hit a spring so hard that the equipment was at the bottom. It was like 70 feet of water, 90 feet of water at the very base of the tallest part of the quarry, which was 72 feet, called Suicide. And that place was awesome, man. Full of fish. And I mean, once you went down and cleared like the floater logs, which are logs that like float like a couple of feet underwater, you can't see them. You have to go down and move them all. And maybe just top floater logs so you don't hit them. Man, doing backflips off that stuff. But Suicide, man, Suicide was like, okay, so when you look off the top of Suicide at 72 feet, and when you look straight down, okay, I'll pick you up and show you, because I'm just moving it around squares so you see what I'm doing. All right, so when you get up on Suicide, right, it's about this wide, about that long of a jut of granite going up like that. That's the last jut. All right, that's, dang it. All right, so there's only like 10 feet of like lead up space. So if you're like going to lead up to jump out into the quarry 72 feet, one, if you look straight down, there's 20 feet of rocks. All right, first and foremost, 20 feet of rocks. You have to jump past the rocks because there's a little cliff at the bottom there of Suicide. And that's what they call it, Suicide. And the other part is, to run it, you only have about like 10, 12 feet to like really get a sprint going. So that means you back up 12 feet and you take off fast as you can be and run and jump. No, you're not going far enough, fast enough. The way you got to do it, you get back in the woods and you start jogging. You start going faster. And you start going faster and you're going around these corners. And you're going around the corner and you know where the last corner is for Suicide. You hit that corner at full speed and jump. And hope that you've jumped at least 30 feet. Which usually that's where everybody lands, 30, 35 feet out. And yeah, and 3.5 seconds of free fall. Yeah, long enough to hear a whole sentence and then laugh as I hit the water. Somebody said dive as I went off. Wayne did. I said, fuck no. Sorry, kids. And he said, never fuck no. It's always time to fuck yes. I was like 17 years old, and you know, he's my best friend from years ago. And I hit the water laughing. So all that occurred while I was in the air, from the point where he said dive, where I was just coming over the edge. Because he'd seen me dive. I dove off of 60 feet before, not 72. They had some cliffs there. They had a rope swing there. That was wild. But I did a lot of 40, 50 footers. Those were the easy ones to get up our side that we'd go to. But if you go to the other side, it's a little longer to get over there. But you had the 60 footers and the rope there. And the 60 footers were off of like a cliff face. So you came out and there was dirt and then a cliff face and just right off of that. And you had to like just straight come to it and jump. but our side they had was level. So that was like the tall side, or the, like, here's one side and then the sandy beach, and then here's suicide, and all this is water, deep, deep, deep water, all the way down. And here's, you know, water level. And then there's rocks and all that, and you climb out, and here's this side over here that kind of goes down slowly in like steps. And that's where we would go and, you know, hang out. And because often Bracken's mom would come, or the girls would come, or Scott, or whatever. So we stayed a little closer to the vehicles and being able to get out. But dude, I've been doing flips and stuff off of 40 and 50 foot cliffs for a while. Back flips. Never did a front flip, I don't think. I've dove. See, diving, you have to like be really rigid when you hit the water. Same with a back flip, you can kind of slice in. But yeah, that's only because you're rotating. You have to rotate so slow, you just go off the edge like this. And just no push with your foot. So you go that way. And then I just watch the water come. Yeah, it's fun, man. I miss it. I can still do it. I still do backflips off a regular pool, dude. Into regular water. Yep. And I can rotate fast enough. See, I've practiced so many times that, but now I'm injured. And it's like I would really love to just like do a backflip. Just get my balls up and do a backflip, right? Because when I was doing my rotations long ago, I used to hit it fast enough to be over and be on top of the water looking down, right, on a backflip, and be like looking at it coming at you and being ready to land. So I'm like, I was already on my feet. I just like landing in water. I could do front flips already with a pad, which is interesting. You know what I mean? I learned to do front flips on like a 3-foot pad when I was 16. I was working on a wrestling team, which came in handy because, yeah, there ain't nothing like a maneuver when you do a flip in the middle of it. Well, wrestling maneuvers. Yeah, I did a guy had me on a crossover and a cross arm bar and locked up real well, and he had me starting to lean back, so he was getting ready to take my energy, and I couldn't go left, couldn't go right. The only way to go was up. So I went whoosh, and did a flip up in the air, and he came down with a half Nelson on top of him, and just totally took his energy and put it into my own. And he's like, "Damn, what the hell kind of move was that?" I said, "It just seemed to be the right thing to do at the time." I've always been able to turn myself upside down pretty well. Climb things like, yeah. Even now, while I'm handicapped, I gotta be careful like a dog. No question about that. But I can like grab something and climb 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? Be up. And since I'm strong, I can. So we got a lot of stuff in this bread. Look at that, it's tearing up. Let's heat up our. Let me do this a little bit more. Get that boiling. All right, so I got a pan already down. It's been like 10 minutes. I'm gonna let you go, and we're gonna come back later. All right, peace, y'all. What we're looking at, and keep moving it.